Yes, good afternoon, students. I am Dharma murthy, NEET Bio faculty from Kakatiya Model High School, Chowdarpalli, Devarakadra. So, today I want to discuss with you about the respiration mechanism. So, respiration, breathing is a physical activity and which is involving in the chemical actions also. Hence, it is a collective process of inhalation and exhalation. Means inhalation, it has involving several steps. Okay, so wherever whenever we have to take the breath, it has to involving various steps. The respiration is a complex process while the air is passes from nostrils to our lungs. Okay, so how it is complex process? Let me discuss about the how air has to be travel from one organ to another organ. Right. First, nose. It is having nose. So nose having two like openings, external openings. Those are called nostrils. Okay. So among these nostrils, inside of the nostrils, the mucus secretion will be takes place and the hairy follicles also be takes place. Okay. So that origination of that hairy follicles that should be oppose the dirt particles from the outer external environment, it should be opposed, and our after nostrils we have nasal cavity. Okay, so that nasal cavity is like involving of mucus secretion. So by that mucus secretion we have to it is also involving the entry of the pathological, I mean pathogenic organisms. Right. So here another important part will be we have to see after that nostrils. Okay, nasal cavity, and here pharynx, larynx, trachea, and bronchial tree and alveoli. Okay, so these are the major important structure which are involving in the respiration mechanism. Right. So by this pharynx is a tricky structure which has to be controlling the food pipe and windpipe, where the special structure is originating here. That tricky structure is called as epiglottis. So that epiglottis controls both the structures like windpipe and food pipe. So where these pharynx that flap like structure, so epiglottis is nothing but a flap like structure that it should be controlling the entire windpipe and these like one. And the larynx, next one coming to the larynx. So how the larynx working out? Larynx is nothing but called voice box. Okay, when we have to touches our nose, throat here, so whenever we have to talk, accordingly our voice box is also be like vibrating. Okay, so due to that vibrations we have to talk. It is also called as, it is not a windpipe, it is also involving the creating some voice accordingly what we are talking. Okay, by that, so the trachea is also be made with the specialized tissues known as cartilage. So by that cartilage tissues, the voice will be coming out. And next one, branchial trees. So after these trachea will having the opening of branches of the two lungs. Okay, so these branches will be originating entire inner surface of the entire lungs. Okay, so every human being have two number of lungs, two pair of lungs, which has to be left one is lower than the right one. Why? So left one it has giving providing the space for the heart. Okay, so by that these branchial tree can originating entire lung surface. Okay, and next these branchial surface which has to be consisting with like the structural functional units of the lungs, those are called alveoli. So these alveoli are these are very thin structures. These are having one cell thick. Why they are having one cell thickness means they are involving the passage of the air from alveoli, lungs to the blood tissue. Okay, so like by that activity, so they are having exhibiting the thinness. thinness of the structure. So these structures are also called as like air sacs, air sacs. So these are transmitting the air from lungs to the blood circulation, okay, by means of the process known as diffusion. So by the diffusion mechanism, mutual exchange of the gases will be takes place from lungs to the our body parts remaining. Okay, so these structural units are very important. So these alveoli are the surrounding the like our blood capillaries, so that blood capillaries will mutually having the exchange mechanism of the okay lungs and like bloodstream. Okay, so after this alveoli, blood has to be takes place in a like cellular level. It has to be transfer cellular level. That means each and every oxygen molecule that has to be combining with the like blood cells, which is especially in the blood cells the oxygen will absorbing by the pigment named as hemoglobin. So that hemoglobin can absorbing binding the oxygen molecule, and it has to be involving breaking down of energy. Respire means what? Actually basically the respiration means breakdown of the energy. It is a catabolic reaction. So how it is catabolic reaction? So when respiration has to be take place in every organism, whenever that respiration takes place, the cellular level, each and every cell that should be going to ATPs are going to break down. What does mean it ATP? So that ATP mean adenosine triphosphate. So the triphosphate has to be converting into the diphosphate. So whenever it loses one phosphate molecule, so that ultimately the cell require more energy. Whenever we have to inhale the air into our body, so the remains we can get the energy. Otherwise it is not possible to getting energy. Okay, so right, this is okay, that's a topic regarding pathway of air inside of our body, how it will be takes place, the entire mechanism of breathing.